So after this, classmate Louie, takbo ka ng Paranaque.
Ganun na nga. Susutin ko lang yung bow tie ko and then off I go.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Hello, classmate. Joey.
Hey, classmate, how are you?
Long time no see, ah.
Oo nga. Yeah. So how is everyone in the family?
We're all okay. The kids are okay. My frontliners.
Very good. Oh yes, you have two of them, no?
Yeah,
Frontliner.
two of them. They're all here in the two doctors.
Oh, okay.
And the two are in the US.
Oh,
Okay, good afternoon.
good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians, guests and friends. I am Chris Perareza, and I am your moderator for this afternoon's meeting, which is a joint meeting with RC Muntinlupa Business District and RC Paranaque East. Before we start the proceedings, let me first read to you the House rules. Please be advised that the microphones of non-program participants will be muted to help keep the background noise to a minimum. May we request the visiting Rotarians and guests to please type in the comment box your name, your club or affiliation, or Rotarians who invited you to participate in this meeting so we can properly acknowledge you later in the program. For our open forum, after the talk of the speaker, in case you want to ask question, please use the raise hand button or simply notify us by typing in the comment box your questions. Alternatively, you may want to type in your question and we will try to accommodate it during the Q&A. Lastly, please don't leave yet after the response of our president, as we will have our group photo off with our speaker. Okay, so without further ado, let me call on our president, LCP Louie Asioche, to call this meeting to order, together with LCP Ron Madrid Bawagan of RC Muntinlupa Business District and LCP Kiko Africa of RC Paranaque East.
Thank you, Chris. In behalf of the Rotary Club of Makati, I call this meeting to order.
On behalf of Muntinlupa Business District, I call this meeting to order.
For the Rotary Club of Paranaque East, I call this meeting to order.
Okay, thank you, LCP Louie, LCP Ron Madrid, and LCP Kiko Africa. Now for the invocation, let me call on PE Jana Benjamin of RC Muntinlupa Business District.
Let's put ourselves in the presence of God. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this opportunity to call people for a meeting. We thank you for each and every one who is here today. You have blessed us with supportive people who seek the welfare of your people and your business. Loving Father, we thank you most of all for being here in our midst. Let your presence be made known and lead this meeting today. We thank you for the dreams, passion, and ideas you have instilled in us. We give you all the glory, for we know that every good and perfect gift comes from you, Father, including our talents. Your word says that we should use the gifts we have received from you to serve other people as a faithful steward. As we begin to build our business, we ask that you will give us heart of service. We want to always find ways to use our business to serve those who are around us. We pray for focus, Lord, for you said that whatever our hands find to do should be done with all our might. We ask for a hardworking spirit that will keep us committed to our business. Father, we pray that we always find ways to glorify you in our business. We also ask, Lord, that we embark on this endeavor, we don't get caught up with the love of money. But we will always remember to seek first your kingdom and its rightfulness. We pray that we will always keep you at the forefront in everything we do. Thank you, Father, for we know that you are always here to support your people. We give you thanks and praise. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, P. Jana. Now we shall have the singing of the national anthem followed by the RC Makati hymn. Please put your right hand over your chest.
We're the Rotary Club of Makati, and together we stand proud. We are leaders with integrity, always ready to serve humanity, always living by the four-way test, building goodwill and peace along the way. To aid our fellow men, as true Rotarians we live to lead. We believe in service above self, and this is why we succeed. We're the Rotary Club of Makati, and together we stand proud. We are leaders with integrity, always ready to serve humanity, always living by the four-way test, building goodwill and peace along the way, giving hope to the world. We're the Rotary Club of Makati, giving hope to the world. The Rotary Club of Makati.
Okay, now let's go to the recitation of the four-way test, which will be led by Rotarian Miguel Sanchez of RC Makati or RC Parañaque East.
Thank you, Chris. Rotary's four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. Is it the truth?
Is it the truth?
Is it fair to all concerned?
Is it
Is
fair?
it
It's
fair
fair
to
to
all
all
concerned?
concerned.
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
Will it
Will it
build
build goodwill
Goodwill
and better
and
friendship?
better friendship?
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
Will it
Will it be
beneficial
beneficial to all
to
concerned?
all concerned?
Okay, thank you, Rotarian Miguel Sanchez of RC Parañaque East. Now let's go to the greetings to birthday and wedding anniversary celebrators. First off, we have Rotarian Patrick Maxwell. Today, it's December 7. Happy birthday. Dan Lim, December 11. Rotary Ann Chinit Rufino on December 11. And for wedding anniversaries, we have Sam and Patricia Yang, December 9. Kiel and Maribeth Del Rosario, December 9. PP Charlie and Chinit Rufino on December 9. PP Bimbo and Queenie Mills, December 12. Rotarian Wash and Pisa Lu, December 12. And BP Tony and Melanie Lopez on December 13. And for the acknowledgement of visiting Rotarians, we have Angie. Have you sent it to me? Okay. Now we have here for our dignitaries, we have PDG Tony Kila, Rotary Anns, Nelly Bengson, Yvonne Kwan, Lou Limhoko. And guests we have from TSPI, Tuloy sa Pagunlad Incorporated. We have Lynn Onesa, Dayan Olaveja, Jerry Garay. We also have the following other guests: PVP Riz Quintana of RC Muntinlupa Ilinvest, Evie Abraham from Escaparate, Homer Arellano, Rodel Islava, Leslie Loren, Bea Manalo, Ronald Manlapi, and Jose Natividad from Escaparate. Welcome to everyone and to our fellow Rotarians from RC Muntinlupa and RC Parañaque East. Okay, let's go to the next part of our program. For the President's time, let's start with LCP Louis Asioche of RC Makati. Muntik na.
Muntik na.
Okay, no?
Thank you, Chris. In behalf of my classmates, Ron Madrid Bawagan and Kiko Africa, we would like to welcome you, Joey, my colleagues from the other clubs, guests, and friends, to what promises to be a very engaging session with our guest speaker. For us in the Rotary Club of Makati, December has traditionally been a busy month for us, but none busier than for the Rotary Anns who have made bringing joy to children at Christmas their life mission. Their vehicle for this lofty calling is the Last Angel Project. This is the club's long-running gift-giving activity that moves the Anns to shuttle from place to place to deliver presents to boys and girls in our project sites and select communities and charitable institutions. Of course, with our Anns around, would we not be far behind? Subukan lang natin. This year, with Pam Manzano as chair, by tradition, the immediate past first Ann chairs the project. They will be serving 15 destinations. We kicked off the project, the Last Angel Project, last Thursday, the 2nd of December on Camio Street in Guadalupe Viejo, site of our very own clubhouse and of our adopted community. Allow me, friends, to share with you our RCM video news on this project.
Last Angel project is one of the long-running projects of RC Makati, which commences every month of December each year. This annual project spurs the ants of RC Makati into opening up their hearts and fan out to places near and far in order to give young boys and girls, the last angels, a reason to smile on this happiest time of the year. The Last Angel project makes the ants shop for and deliver presents to children in the club's project sites and in select institutions and communities. This a yearly Christmas tradition that brings cheer and joy to children from all walks of life, be they special, needy, or socially impacted. To kick off this year's gift-giving program, over 100 kids in our home community in Guadalupe Viejo, Makati, where the clubhouse of RC Makati stands, were given gift bags and kiddie meals. The gift bags, which contain sandals courtesy of Rotarian Taba Samson, towel, shirt, hygiene kits, juice, and snacks, were prepared by the Manzano family. This year's Last Angel Chair immediate past First Anne Pam Manzano emceed the short program. Messages were thereafter delivered by President Louis Asioche, who commiserated with the kids of school ages for being forced by the pandemic to stay indoors.
Masaya kami dito sa Rotary Club of Makati kasi pagsampan ng Disyembre, ito na yung panahon para mamigay ng mga regalo sa mga angkut-cute na mga bata kagaya ninyo. Ito ay ang hakbang ng Rotary Club of Makati para mapagbigyan kulay at mabigyan kayo ng konting kasiyahan sa panahon nito, no?
IPP Peter Manzano then followed with the real story of how the Last Angel came about.
Ano ba ang mensahe nitong aming ginagawa na Last Angel? Gaya ng Pasko, ano ba ang mensahe ng Pasko? Pagmamahal, pagbibigayan at saka pag-asa. Inumpisahan ito ng isang first Anne, dahil na-inspire siya dun sa kwento, sabi niya, dapat walang batang malulungkot sa Pasko. Walang mahuhuling anghel. Kailangan mabigyan lahat kasi kayo, mga anghel tayo.
Present to assist in the distribution were First Antes Asioche, Boy Arteche, Past President David and CP Mache Ackerman, Past President Junjun and Cecile Dairit, and Keith Harrison. The club would like to thank all the donors for this year's gift-giving project. The chair couple would also like to encourage everyone to participate in this annual gift-giving tradition. The dates will be posted by the RCM Secretariat on both the club's and Anne's Viber group.
On behalf of IPFA PAM and IPP Peter, I would like to thank all our gracious donors who are giving our young beneficiaries a reason to smile. Allow me also to invite our members and aunts to join the Last Angel outings, and we shall be posting the schedule on the Viber page of the club and the aunts. Still on giving, the following day, I attended PNP Makati's Barangayanihan initiative and handed out gift bags to 150 individuals in Mayapis, Makati, in support of Makati PNP's community assistance program that aims to maintain peace and order and do some environmental housekeeping in their respective barangays. Various community-based groups were formed into Kalikasan teams, which is a play on the words Kalikasan and Kaligtasan. I would also like to thank the TGPPL for augmenting the grocery items with 150 boxes of hot meals. We also went all out in our support for the 3-day RI Presidential Conference last November 26 to 28. This support was manifested in our 100% registration and attendance, and our hosting of breakout fellowships for 2 days, and our staging of a watch party at our clubhouse on November 26 and 27. The watch party doubled as a fellowship social like our sorely missed Friday night lights with karaoke singing and heavy snacks of pancit and empanadas. Our thanks to the Rotarians who gamely participated, like Director Chito Cantada and Vice President Tony Lopez, who both ably emceed the two fellowship events, with VP Tony even sponsoring a video number from Chanteuse, Kate Castillo. District favorite PP Regin Olido, who again showcased his singing talent. PDG Peps Bengzon, moderator for the Circular Economy and Mindset Breakout Session. PP Fred Pascual, Fire Chat moderator for the Food Security and Sustainability Breakout Session. And PDG Sid Garcia, who joined the field trip to Rotary Homes. The watch party also occasioned the break-in of two prospective members, Don Carlo Ibanez, upon my invitation, and Francis Ordovesa upon the invitation of Director Ferdy Ordovesa. Finally, we have two more meetings this month before we wrap up 2021. Our annual members meeting on December 14 and our long-delayed 56th induction ball on the 17th, which will double as our Christmas party. Both meetings are must-attends for all of us, so please be there, like you, Chris. For anyone who can't make it to the annual members meeting, please be sure to accomplish a proxy and send it to the Secretariat not later than 12 noon of December 13. As for the induction ball and Christmas party, this you cannot miss. It's our very first in-person social for this Rotary year, our chance to see one another in the flesh after all these Zoom meetings we have had. So please be there. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, President Louis, and I'll be there virtually. And by the way, congratulations on the continuing success of your projects and initiatives. Now let's go to President or LCP Ron Madrid Bawagan of RC Muntinlupa Business District. LCP Ron, the virtual floor is yours.
Good afternoon, classmates, Louis and Kiko, and to fellow Rotarians. So I will just be sharing briefly our club activities for this December. In the past few days, December 1 to 3, we visited at Nueva Ecija, our project. We co-hosted the project at Sitio Kaitahan. The project library, wherein the books from we donated there, we seek from RC Makati's books across the sea, and also we have 3 lined up project. Firstly, Bukat na Aklat Batang Aklat. This is our Rotary Days of Service in partnership with my cluster, which is RC Alabang Daang Hari as RC Alabang Corporate. Together with the district 3810 RC Pasay EDSA, and of course in participation of the Rotaract and Inter clubs. It will be on December 15. We are now on our 3rd phase, which is our Rotary RCC College Teachers Education of TL Moon will teach the registered parents for this project read aloud strategies, wherein we have our 100 beneficiaries families. This is to strengthen the reading program of preschoolers. Okay, secondly, our club will have a scheduled Christmas gift giving at Bahay Pag-asa. For this one is our 2nd year already. We, aside from giving the usual Noche Buena package, we will also conduct practical ways of well-being for the children. This will be conducted by the Interact Club of Southwest School, and also this time, first ever activity with parents of the Interact Club will be participating for this project, so that we could also show them the Rotary way. So we will be conducting to the parents of the CILC children in Confidalot, we will be conducting mindful parenting in small groups of 3 families per volunteered family of 1. So we will be conducting mindful parenting to them, and also In that same community, this will be also for Bahay Pag-asa, our second year that we will be continuing to support the initiative of our PVP Doc Ruiz, sustainable garden. Now, we are constructing the greenhouse project, so to protect the sustainable garden. So the construction of the structure is ongoing, and it will be completely installed by December 11. So thirdly, we will also have, since our club chartered, we have Munting Ngiti Batang Munti project for Christmas. We also give Christmas Noche Buena packages for all barangays here in Muntinlupa, the 8 barangays here in Muntinlupa. But for this year, we will be adding installation and giving away of yoga mats in partnership with Child Post Yoga Philippines. So we will also be turning over yoga mats at Barangay Alabang on December 22 as partnership with them. They will be teaching simple healing pose, day-to-day daily exercise to LGUs, and then for 10 sessions, and then so it will be sustainable. So they will continue doing it with their barangay. So, and then lastly, for our meetings, we will be having our Christmas celebration on December 16 at Vivere, and another meeting on December 27. So that is, thank you.
Right, thank you, LCP Ron. And finally, last but not the least, let's have President or LCP Kiko Africa of RC Parañaque East. LCP Kiko.
Thank you, Chris. Good afternoon. At the onset, I would like to thank my classmate Louie Asioche for inviting RCPE, the Rotary Club of Parañaque East, and giving us this opportunity to be part of this event. I usually conduct my president's time for 1.5 hours, but this afternoon, since we are more interested in listening to Sir Joey Bermudez, I'll keep it to 1 hour. Is that okay, Louis? 1 hour. For RCPE, December is a time to highlight how much we value service and fellowship. With the perfect excuse to eat and drink, we have our Christmas party, of course, but at the end of the day, we always keep in mind the very important motto of Rotary, which is service above self. And if you will allow me, I will share with you the calendar of our activities, remaining activities for the month of December. Let me see if I can do this. Looks like I'm not able to share, but if you will indulge me, I will just quickly go through the...
You're a co-host, Kiko. You should be able to share your screen.
Pause, please check.
There. I got it. Give me 10 seconds to do this. Otherwise, I will just proceed. Files.
So your 10 seconds will be deducted from your 1 hour.
Yes. Anyway, I'm having a hard time sharing. I'm using a different laptop. I will just look at my phone. So basically, December 1, we had a joint project with the Rotary Club of Sukat, wherein we donated medicines and PPEs to 8 barangays in Parañaque. Last December 6, we attended the district activity in Marriott with Louie and Ron. This December 7, we have this privilege of having this joint meeting with you. December 15, we will be having our governor's visit in Acacia Hotel, 1:30 p.m. On December 15, we will be having our TRF Gala with the rest of the clubs of 3830. This will be via Zoom. So if you want to see Louis and I and Ron dance, feel free to join us that evening. December 18, the Rotary Club of Parañaque East will have its annual family Christmas party in Silang, Cavite. And the last activity for December for the Rotary Club of Parañaque East will be the annual gift giving activity for Rotary Homes Part 2 in Parañaque. I understand that Louis is also taking charge of the same activity for Rotary Homes Part 1 and Part 3. And we will be sharing information about those activities with you. Thank you very much. That's it for me. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, LCB Kiko. Now, before we proceed to the next part of our agenda, allow me to acknowledge the presence of the following, who are representatives of RC Parañaque East. We have Admin Miguel Sanchez, PP Francis Bustillo, PP Chris Bracamonte, Director Jap Calleja, Rotarian Paulo Vicencio, Director Homer Arellano, and Director Albert Magdaraug. Okay, so now let's go to the introduction of guest speaker. And please welcome the district favorite, according to Louis Asioche, PP Reggie Nolido. Sorry, nabulol tuloy. PP Reggie.
Ayan. Ang sinungaling kasi. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. It is my pleasure to introduce to you a gentleman whom I personally admire and look up to. Not just because of his achievements as a professional, but more because of the heart by which he is guided by, and in everything that he do, especially now in his endeavor with Skaparate. So to give you a little background on our speaker today, let me start by saying that he is a proud graduate of the University of Santo Tomas, where he studied Bachelor of Science in Commerce, majoring in accounting. He's a certified public accountant. As a result, he took up his master's in business administration from De La Salle University, to the happiness of many amongst us. He is also a holder of master's degrees from the University of Asia and the Pacific, as well as a graduate of the Global Bankers Program, Foster School of Business, University of Washington. From his education, he then moved on to entering into financial institutions. So he has been in the financial field for most of his professional life, serving as senior executives in institutions such as Solid Bank Corporation, Philippine Savings Bank, Standard Chartered Bank, Philippine Commercial International Bank. But then he then became the president of China Trust Commercial Bank Corporation, and president and CEO later of Philippine Veterans Bank, before moving on to being CEO and chairman of Maybridge Financial Group, as well as a founding CEO of skaparate.com, which he's going to talk about today. He is likewise a past director of several financial institutions, as well as property companies, the details of which would be in the biography portion of our kaunlaran. But more importantly for our purposes today, Joey is a person who started skaparate.com, which is a unique selling platform for poor entrepreneurial women initially. And with other founding members of Skaparate, the Avancenia brothers, Joe Natividad and Chito Sumabat, They are now poised to help our micro entrepreneurs be part of the global economy. And so it is with much pleasure that I cede the floor to a person who is out there working for the poor, working for those in need, and helping build a more vibrant economy in the Philippines, Mr. Joey Bermudez. Thank you.
Thank you, Past President Reggie. Thank you, President Louis. Thank you, LCP Ron. Thank you, LCP Kiko. And thank you to all of the socially minded Rotarians and their guests who are here today to engage us in a conversation about skaparate. The introduction of Reggie is quite glowing, and the nice thing about introductions of speakers is they don't talk about the times that you really messed up big time and you screwed up. So that's why I like introductions. But that's not to say that there are places where you can speak and feel safe, and there are places where you can speak and feel threatened. But a Rotary meeting is always a safe space for me. Firstly, because I was at many times in the past a Rotarian myself. So I was a charter member of the Rotary Club of Makati, Greenbelt. And at some point in time was a member of the Rotary Club of Mandaluyong, Uptown. So I only stopped being an active Rotarian when my family and I migrated to Canada. But that said, I continued personally to still be involved in business and in many activities in the Philippines. So I was telling President Louis earlier, I typically, and that was before the pandemic, and hopefully after this pandemic, spend half of my time in the Philippines attending to the business commitments that I have there. Now, having said that, I consider this Rotary meeting a safe space. Let me start this conversation with a controversial statement. But before that, let me go on and share my screen. Okay, this is a statement that was made by the novelist F. Scott Fitzgerald to a fellow writer, Ernest Hemingway. He said, "You know, Ernest, the rich are different from you and me." And I don't think he said that in derogation. He was simply stating a fact, because there are many things that distinguish the rich, especially the very rich, from those who are not so rich or are probably poor. And to which my colleagues and I in Skaparate would retort, but you know, the poor are even more different from you and me. Until September last year, when we launched Skaparate, I was not sold on this statement that the poor are really that different and that we didn't know them. I would always tell my friends, who doesn't know about being poor? In my younger days, I remember my family and I lived in a big house with 7 rented rooms, and we were renting one room, and there were 6 other families in the same house, and we would share one toilet, one kitchen, and one dining room. So who doesn't know about being poor? So I know about poverty, and I know them until I saw that I knew very little about them. But my subsequent slides will explain what I actually mean. let's flash back to April 2020, last year, when the lockdown was at its fiercest, at its most cruel, at its most brutal. We heard a cry for help that was too shrill, even for the insensitive. The most insensitive human being would have been bothered by this cry. This is not like your daughter asking if you can sit down and speak to her, and then she tells you she's pregnant. No, that is not the kind of cry for help that happened in 2020. The cry was like your wife was waking you up because the house is burning. Okay, that urgent. So what was the cry all about? The microfinance institutions, the 13 biggest microfinance institutions in the Philippines, were saying, our clients are dying. 9 million of them, 9 million micro enterprises are dying. Why? Because they cannot be seen, because their stores and production shops are closed, because they cannot move around, because raw materials are scarce and expensive, because the workers aren't coming to work, and therefore we need help. Whatever help, please. So this is how this skaparate journey began. There would have been no skaparate if there was no pandemic, because skaparate was a response to that urgent problem that we heard last year. And we felt that at that time, we said, anyway, this problem is just going to be a couple of months. After a couple of months, the lockdowns are going to be lifted. We will all go back to our normal lives. And we will live happily ever after. Today, as we speak, as we engage in conversation, you all can tell from 2020 hindsight how wrong that assumption was. But again, I don't want to get ahead of myself. Let's continue the story. My colleagues and I wanted to respond to the cry for help. And we responded based on what we believe the entrepreneurial poor needed. In other words, we worked on the assumption that we knew the entrepreneurial poor anyway, and we knew what was going to solve their problem. So let us respond immediately and quickly. So our boilerplate response was like, well, bring them online. If they cannot be seen, if they can no longer sell because their physical stores are closed, give them online presence so they can be seen and be discovered, so they can sell even when their brick and mortar stores are closed, so they can become digital citizens. Okay, very good assumptions, except that they betray an ignorance of what the situation really is of the entrepreneurial poor. So our cookie cutter template was like, go for quick wins. Let us not reinvent the wheel, use existing platforms. It's not like the online platforms were only created after the pandemic. There have been online selling platforms for so many years. And why create another one? Why not just put all of the entrepreneurial poor into these existing marketplaces, online platforms? Do not reinvent the wheel. After all, the saying goes, if it ain't broke, why fix it? How wrong we were. We have found out now. Again, getting ahead of myself. But let's step back a little bit and get back to the story. What did we not see right away with those cookie cutter templates and assumptions? We discovered painfully and at some expense, at some cost, the existing platforms are east and the micro entrepreneurs are west. And as Mark Twain said, never the twain shall meet. I remember one fellow banker telling me, micro entrepreneurs are from Venus and bankers are from Mars, so they will never meet. One realization was micro entrepreneurs are not digitally equipped. It's so easy for us to say, go online so that you can be discovered. But do you have the tools to go online? What do you need to go online and sell and perform online? You need laptops. You don't have a laptop, at the very least, you must have a smartphone. Do the micro entrepreneurs have smartphones? Half of them will tell you they don't. They have the typical function phone, which doesn't have the smart functionalities. Now, those of them who have smartphones will tell you during the day, the only smartphone that belongs to the family is being used by the children for their modular classes for DepEd. During the day, a lot of times the smartphone is with a husband who is out in the field delivering the produce that these micro entrepreneurs produce. We also realized, again, quite painfully, that micro entrepreneurs are not digitally proficient. So when we created the online platform and brought some of them online, we were telling them to go and visit their websites every day and mind their stores, tend their stores. But a lot of them will tell us, I cannot even type, do not even know how to type the URL address in the address box. So challenging as it is to learn something new, learning something that's very digital is even more challenging. The micro entrepreneurs do not really have the time to tend their online stores. No? When we created the platform, we did a lot of mystery shopping, and we were calling these micro entrepreneurs as if we were customers. We were pretending to be customers, and we discovered a lot of them were not answering their phones. So we confronted them. We said, we call them nanays on the platform. Like say, Nanay Iska, bakit naman hindi mo sinasagot yung telepono? Eh yung tumatawag, customer. Di mawawala yung order. Then some of them said, you know, sir, tinuturuan ko yung anak ko, nagtututor ako, habang nagluluto ako ng palabok na i-deliver. Kung sasagutin ko pa yung telephone, assuming may pagkakataon ako sumagot ng telephone, masusunog yung niluluto ko, eh yun ang aking negosyo. They do not have a back office. Again, easy to say, go online, get paid online. Now, who's gonna do all the online invoicing and online reconciliation that the nanays have to do? Okay, things that we take for granted as people who do not belong to that category of entrepreneurial poor are mighty difficult for the entrepreneurial poor. They do not have access to the market. We can say, okay, go online. Then what next? Okay, what do they do with their online stores? How do they sell? They need help to sell. Now, earlier we said there's so many online platforms, just put them there. Will the online platforms recognize the fact that these micro entrepreneurs do not really have sufficient tools, that they're not digitally proficient? They do not have time, they do not have a back office, and they need help to sell. Will the existing online platforms do that for them? Obviously, the answer we found out, quite painfully again, no. The online platforms will not do it for them. So, therefore, the Amazons of this world simply don't cut it. So we need to reinvent Amazon, and we need to reinvent the online marketplace world. The rest, as they say, is history. So my colleagues and I in Skaparate, after doing a series of activities, getting started, doing false starts, and doing abrupt stops, we learned a lot. We morphed, we shaped, we reshaped, and we transformed. And that's the only way a platform like Skaparate can come into being. Otherwise, we would have said some months back, let's forget about this. We don't really know this business, and therefore, we have no business even trying to master it and wing it. Now, after all that experience, what does Skaparate today do for the micro entrepreneur? And what does it do that the existing online platforms do not do? First, we build the store for the micro entrepreneur. There are two types of stores that we have in skaparate.com. One is an online catalog. You want to see what it looks like? If you type skaparate.com on your laptop or your phone, this is what you will get to. This is the online website catalog. So this is the homepage. You will see a big picture of an actual nanay. This is Nanay Socorro, who is from Negros, no? And she's selling chips produced by a farmers cooperative in Negros. These are also live nanays. Nanay Lea Mancero produces baskets. Nanay Leo produces native delicacies. And Nanay Venus does massage. And then you can search. This is what the online website catalogs looks like. On top of that, we have an e-commerce storefront. We call it nanays.ph. If you type nanays.ph on your laptop or on your cell phone, this is what you will see. Again, the products of the nanays curated, assembled, bundled, and presented as a group, no longer as individual nanays. So here, you will see products that you can buy online. You can click any product and you can add it to cart like you would do with all the other existing online platforms that are in the market today. Now, what else do we do for the micro entrepreneur? We help them sell. We have a store minder product. As I was saying earlier, a lot of the micro entrepreneurs were telling us they cannot mind their store, so they need help. So what do? We help them. We mind the store. So this is an example of a nanay in skaparate.com who wants us to store mind for her. Why does Nanay Lani Buencamino want us to mind their store? Because she's a public school teacher and she doesn't want to leave that profession. But she's so good at producing quesong puti, at delivering gatas ng kalabaw to the market. And her products are always among our best sellers in all our selling events. All of these products, if you care to try them, you'll find out why she's different. But she cannot tend her online store. So we have this page. Here is Skaparate, looks like this. It has an order form, and when you fill it up and click submit, you will actually be in touch with skaparate.com that will receive your order. We have not ignored Facebook, because Facebook definitely has the largest collection of data among all of the platforms. So you cannot be online and say, forget about Facebook. So within Facebook, we created a Skaparate store. This is a page that we own on Facebook. And when you click the catalog, you will see all of the products of our nanays that are displayed there and the prices. And if you need to order, you only need to call skaparate.com. What else do? We have skaparate.ph, which is Instagram, which is just another store, again, supplementing our Facebook store. If you go to skaparate.ph, you again see the products of the various nanays that are displayed there. What else? We have selling events. You were saying earlier, the nanays need help to sell. So we give that help. What are some of the selling events that we have done? We did our Christmas selling event in December of last year. We participate in the monthly or sometimes semi-monthly Grand Bagsakan of the Department of Trade and Industry. We did in May a very successful Mother's Day program where we tied up with a company called Mayani.ph and a company called Karamia. We did the breakfast promo sometime in May and June this year. We are now doing the online Bayanihan promo for Skaparate. And we're also doing a campaign called Variety Campaign, where you are encouraged to go to our nanays.ph e-commerce storefront and witness the variety of products that are there. The products in Skaparate are about the widest you can find among all of the online platforms that have as much as a good share of the small entrepreneur market. We have a campaign called E-Campanya. What is this? A lot of the candidates today for the elections need tarps, stickers, hats, shirts, paroles, all of the stuff that you can think of. And a lot of our nanays produce that. So we curate their products, we put them together, and we tell the candidates, whether they are from the left or from the right or from the center. If you want all of these campaign materials, our nanays can produce them for you. And now we are running our Christmas promo, making sure that the best products of our nanays are assembled and put together and presented to potential customers of Skaparate. Skaparate also helps the nanays, the micro-entrepreneurs on the platform, improve their capability as business persons, as sellers, as marketing people, as salesmen. So what were the recent learning sessions that we did? We had several, from Dr. Bernie Villegas talking about the macroeconomy to the former country risk operations officer of Citibank talking about enterprise risk, to a very senior HR professional in the industry talking about courage, confidence, and maximizing sales potential, to somebody from the Department of Trade and Industry talking about business continuity, to a doctor talking to them about risks to the respiratory system, to a microinsurance expert talking to them about the benefits of microinsurance, and until last Saturday, to a former head of the League of Corporate Foundations talking to them about pitfalls in business. Okay, so apart from that, what else do? We support their back office. We have an online invoicing and payment processing platform that is being serviced by PayMongo. PayMongo is one of the fastest growing Philippine payment processing companies. They're backed by global investors such as Peter Thiel himself, one of the founders of PayPal. And then we provide fulfillment, most of it community-based. We build their capacity, as I was saying earlier. We created within Facebook a page called, or a group called the Skaparate Community, where we continually engage them to talk to them about concerns, about training issues, about raw material supply, about anything that concerns them. And our training sessions are done under the umbrella of what we call Gabay Skaparate. So our objective is to bring up their level of capability incrementally but progressively, so that eventually they all become good enough for our add to cart e-commerce store. And we have a YouTube channel that stores, that allows people to view all of the learning materials that we have accumulated as a platform. Okay. So what is the result? Today, we have 500 entrepreneurs on the platform. This is just a little over a year from the time we started. And the micro-entrepreneurs are from all over the country: Metro Manila, Calabarzon, Central Luzon, Bicol, Ilocos, Cagayan. We have, for example, 25 micro-entrepreneurs from the Cordillera Autonomous Region, Visayas and Mindanao. We have about 7 to 10 women from Basilan, the stripe-torn province in Mindanao, doing yakan clothing for anyone who wants to look at this, their high-end products. Some of them selling for as much as 10,000 per meter, because it takes them a whole month or sometimes a whole 2 weeks to be able to finish these products. And as a result, we have a vendor network that is now inclusive. And the vendor network is indifferent to age, faith, physical disability, gender, or sexual orientation. So you can have somebody as young as this micro-entrepreneur from the Cordilleras who produces very beautiful candles. Or somebody who's much more senior, like Nana Emilita, for example, who produces RTWs, but is being ardently courted by a lot of exporters. Or Nanay Mokrima Muhammad from Maguindanao, who produces a lot of very good products from her province. Or a PWD like Tatay Marcial Yago, who produces furniture despite his physical handicap. Or we can have a proud member of the LGBTQ community who produces coffee and is very proud of it. And the vendor network does not distinguish or does not differentiate or discriminate according to age, faith, physical condition, or gender or sexual orientation. The platform today has 2,500 products. What can you find in Skaparate? Food, 60%, non-food, about 30%, and services, about 10%. But the product spectrum is so diverse. You can name almost any product that you can think of, and we have them in Skaparate. Whether you're talking about fresh farm produce, cooked meals, comfort food, desserts, anything, artisanal soaps, sewing services, printing jobs, artwork. We have a lot of artists in Skaparate today. So food, baskets, native costumes, artwork, cement pots and plantitos and plantitas, fresh fish, you have them. And we have 20 organizations today who are onboarding their members. And as we speak, we're orienting another 5 organizations who want to be able to onboard their own members into Skaparate. These organizations have a collective membership of about 300,000. And we have a roster of solid business partners and enablers. Shopify is now our biggest partner. Our engines being run by Shopify. Paymongo, as I mentioned earlier. Homestead, which is the host of our existing website. Maybridge, which is the finance company that has been providing backup finance for purchase orders for nanays, who are all of a sudden faced with this problem of how to procure raw materials for a very large order. Bayanihan Mart, which is the livelihood office of the Office of Vice President Lenny Robredo, providing or coursing a lot of capability building grants that are given to them by various private organizations into Skaparate for capability building. The Department of Trade and Industries Go Negosyo, or Mentor Me program of Go Negosyo, in cooperation with the Department of Trade and Industry. Mint College, which created for free all of our branding designs, logos, our entire brand book. They did it for us for free. The Philippine Business for Social Progress and its partner Give to Asia, which recently approved a grant for the onboarding of several micro entrepreneurs onto the platform. Concept Machine, which is developing our new website. Next week, we are moving to a new website, which is powered by the Shopify engine. Ateneo de Manila University, that gave us industrial engineering students to help our nanays are ready to move on to the next level, improve the production efficiencies. Germana Express, a remittance company in North America that is tying up with us to be able to tap overseas Filipinos to buy the products of the nanays in the Philippines instead of having to send cash. And the Overseas Filipino Bank, which has now become one of our payment processing partners. Have we made a difference? Well, look at real stories of real people, the 17 nanays whose stores had closed before the pandemic. And because we brought them online, 17 of them had collective sales of 1.7 million in about 4 months. Nanay Martiniana Mancho, who got a 300,000 peso contract from a large retail mall chain because they found out that she was with Skaparate. Nanay Casilda, whose stores were closed because of the Taal volcano eruption and the pandemic. And all of a sudden, because she was back in the selling mode because of Skaparate, her products are among the best selling in our selling events. Nanays who belong to the 4Ps beneficiaries, those who receive conditional cash transfers, decided to band themselves together and go into entrepreneurship. We onboarded them into Skaparate. You have entrepreneurs who were practically down to zero in terms of level of production before the pandemic. And all of a sudden, their factories are humming with activity. So we've often been asked, well, what next? Skaparate, are you a foundation? Are you just going to continuously ask for grants to fund everything that you're doing? No, Skaparate is a for-profit company with 4 revenue streams in the next 5 years. Listing fee, because we're a website and platform management company. The store minding fee, because we have a store minder product. And because we do online invoicing and payment, we have online processing and fulfillment fees. And because we curate and bundle products together, we make money from store operations. We opened a seed capital round in June of this year so that we will generate funding to build a vendor network to 100,000 micro entrepreneurs in 5 years. That is the biggest tiangge, whether online or physical, that you can ever find in the world. So the fundraising has been going well. And often we're asked, sino ba yung nasa Skaparate? Who are you guys? No? So that's myself as a principal founder. That's Ms. Jo Natividad, who's president of Skaparate today, one of my co-founders, and she's with us in this meeting. That's the team of Maybridge Finance, the team that joined us in putting together the beginnings of skaparate.com. Chito Sumabat, who is our vice chairman in Maybridge Finance, joined us. And as past President Reggie was saying, the Abansenia brothers, the first two people outside of Maybridge Finance who took us seriously and believed in the concept of skaparate.com. And then in June, when we opened our seed capital round, we had Philip Ong, an early investor, a businessman, industrialist, and social entrepreneur joining us. And somebody you're familiar with, past President Reggie, joining us as early investor as well in June. And in July, a partner of ours from Luxembourg that has been funding the SME lending programs of Maybridge, Mark Elshout, joined us as well. So as a movement for social and economic inclusion, I therefore ask, does Skaparate pass the four-way test as an activity? The same criteria by which Rotarians judge the things that they do and the things that they say can very well be used to judge the social worthiness of Skaparate as an endeavor. There are many things that Skaparate and the Rotary Club of Makati can do together. The club or its members can recommend or sponsor micro entrepreneurs for onboarding to Skaparate. They can lead, they can organize, they can sponsor in conjunction with their other socially minded activities, selling events where the Skaparate micro entrepreneurs can showcase their products. They can be customers of Skaparate. They can mentor or train the micro entrepreneurs of Skaparate. On the other hand, Skaparate and its micro entrepreneurs or even its founders can be raw material buyers of businesses owned by club members. Of the 3 clubs that are represented here, as well as the clubs represented by the visiting Rotarians today, they can be customers of club members also who are in the businesses of logistics, fulfillment, fintech, microfinance, microinsurance, and support services. Or they can fulfill the requirements of club members' companies for organized employee meals, for example, uniforms, office furnishings, aircon cleaning, any service that you can think of, installation, security services. So that is Skaparate in a nutshell. And I'd like to thank you for listening to me. And now I'd like to open myself to any question.
All right. Congratulations, Sir Joey, for having successfully established this platform in the midst of the pandemic. It's truly an inspiring initiative. And before we go on to the question and answer portion, let me just remind our friends and guests to type in your questions if you have any using the chat room, or you could raise your hand and state your question directly to Mr. Bermudez. All right, so we have, I think, the first question is from our president, LCP Louis Asioche. Here it goes, Sir Joey. So obviously these nanais do not have scale. So what do you do in case demand is high, say for a product or item that the nanay sell, how do you assist in enabling production to keep up with the demands, or in augmenting the storage, warehousing of this product?
Thank you. Thank you, Chris. Thank you, President Louis, for the question. Because we know that the individual nanays, one-on-one, can never win in the market against the more stable, more organized small and medium enterprises. So we go out of our way to help them assemble and aggregate their products. We even curate. If you go to our e-commerce storefront, nanays.ph, you will see that we have assembled bundles to make sure that even those nanays who cannot sell individually their products will now be able to sell because they're part of a bundle that is now as a bundle attractive enough to buyers. For example, you have producers of Sinamay bags. Selling Sinamay bags may be difficult, but if the Sinamay bags are the packaging for the bundle that we assembled for the Christmas gifts and the Christmas giveaways that we're selling today, then she becomes automatically part of the selling group. So unless someone is aggregating them and organizing them to sell together, it will be mightily difficult for them to succeed.
Okay. Thank you for that response, Sir Joey.
Yeah.
Now, since there are no additional questions in the chat box, let me ask this question.
Chris, there is a question coming from past President Harold Dacumos of RC Makati Bel Air.
Yeah. Okay, the question from TSPI Lynn Onesa. Thanks for the presentation, Sir Joey. How much does it cost for a nanay to join Skaparate?
Great. Thank you. Today, we're onboarding the nanays free of charge. Our plan is the moment we have reached 1,000 nanays, which is probably going to happen sometime in February next year, the next batch of nanays that we onboard will have to pay a joining fee and a monthly maintenance fee, depending on the kind of package, service package that she wants to avail herself of. So it can be as simple as just being on the platform and doing the rest of the work herself, or being on the platform and being store-minded, or being on the platform and apart from being store-minded, having her products promoted by Skaparate itself, or as a fourth level, being on the platform and being in the add to cart e-commerce functionality. So we know that a lot of micro entrepreneurs, especially those that are just starting, just trying to stabilize their businesses, probably cannot afford even small joining fees or maintenance fees. That is why we have opened the door for sponsors like Give to Asia, as I was mentioning earlier, or the Philippine Business for Social Progress, to raise funds to help some of the nanays pay for their joining fees and the monthly maintenance fees. And next week, we are about to sign a memorandum of agreement with these two organizations because they'd like to fund the onboarding of at least 135 new micro entrepreneurs in the platform and the training of 250 micro entrepreneurs at their expense.
Okay. Well, related to that question, actually, Sir Joey, that is my question supposed to be my question earlier, in respect of the sustainability of this platform, given that it has just started, and how do you foresee it continuing even after the pandemic?
Okay. We think that online marketing and online selling is going to be here to stay. We've realized that COVID or no COVID, there's a huge advantage in being online. And I think even the micro entrepreneurs realize that, except that they're scared that if left to their own devices, they probably will just wither in the online marketplace. So they need help. That is why there is a need to reinvent the Amazon that we know it. So it must be an assisted Amazon, at least for the micro entrepreneurs. And that's what we are hoping to do. The investors that have come together to fund the operations of Skaparate, and that includes past President Reggie, are patient investors. We know that this is a long gestating project. It is not something that pays us off in about 24 months. It is something that we'll need to achieve scale, maybe build up to 100,000 nanays before we can then say, let's bring this out to the capital market and start raising funds there.
Okay. So what's the setup of the company currently, Sir Joey? Is it a
Sorry?
or what's the setup of the company currently? Is it incorporated or?
Yes, it's a corporation. And right now, we are applying with the SEC for an increase in our authorized capital because of the new capital contributions that came in and the subsequent fundraising that we intend to do in the future. It's got its own management team. It now has a personality that's separate and distinct from Maybridge, the finance company that was housing it before. So it has now a life of its own.
Okay, thank you, Sir Joey. Here's the next question from LCP Kiko Africa. Perhaps one of the challenges is inconsistency in products is providing training. TESDA, what's it called? What's this? Parenthesis, open and close parenthesis, TESDA part of the program.
Yes, it is. Training is definitely a part of the program. It is a part that we had been wanting to avoid when we put up this platform. We said it is not our forte. Fortunately, two of the founders of Skaparate, and I'd say three, including past President Reggie, because they were all together in a foundation called Foundation for Enterprise Management Innovations, which was very heavy in capacity building and training for the segment of the market that they call the missing middle. So we have very strong advocates for training within Skaparate. And that has led us to create Gabay Skaparate, which is some kind of a training academy. We were kind of at a loss as to how to equip Gabay Skaparate. But after our anniversary celebration in September this year, we had dozens of people coming to us and say, I want to mentor, I want to coach, I want to teach the nanays of skaparate.com. So now we have more resource persons than the next 3 years can handle.
Great, great. Sir Joey, I was just wondering, since this is online and majority of the people involved are those who have very limited digital experience in the past, no? Is the training that you're providing also including the cyber security aspect?
Yes. Technology training is first and foremost in our minds as far as capability building is concerned. In fact, the grant that was provided by the Philippine Business for Social Progress and their partner Give to Asia, a big part of that is for training in digital citizenship, which is one part of it is digital marketing. The other part is digital security and privacy. So that training is going to happen sometime in January this year. We will have 3 sessions benefiting 250 per session or 750 total nanays. And we expect that that is going to bring them up several levels higher, which will partly solve the challenge that we always face, bringing them to a capability level that makes them good enough for add to cart or e-commerce. So today we have like 600 total nanays, 500 uploaded and another 100 waiting to be uploaded. But you can say only 10% of them or 50 or 60 of them would be good for add to cart or e-commerce. In other words, you really need to prepare them.
Okay. We have another question here in the chat box from past President Harold Docomos of RC Makati Bel Air. Bravo, Joey, for this social, impactful, or an oriented business. What's in it for Escaparate? What are fees to be paid by micro entrepreneurs? Yeah, what are fees to be paid by micro entrepreneurs?
Okay. There are no fees today, but after we reach 1,000 nanays, we will charge the next batch. The fees will range anywhere from 100 pesos a month to probably 200 pesos a month, again, depending on the service package that you avail yourself of. We earn from store minding. We charge them a fee for minding their online stores. We will earn from online invoicing and payment processing, and we will earn from the store operations that we run when we aggregate and bundle them together. So as I was saying, Skaparate is a for-profit institution. Over the next 5 years, we expect that the patient investors who put in money to capitalize this company are going to make at least 21% return on their capital, on the assumption that they exit on the 5th year, which I don't think they will do, and on the assumption that as they exit, they will only realize book value, they will only realize an exit price of 1.5 times market to book value.
Okay. Wow, 21%. That's worth the wait. Happy to Reggie. The patience, I mean. Okay, we have another question from past President Conrado Dayrit of Rotary Club of Makati. What is the break-even between male? Oh, sorry, breakdown between male and female. It seems most are female. Why is that the case?
Yes, we have not deliberately turned away men. In fact, we invite everyone. But I guess when it comes to micro-entrepreneurship, it just comes as a matter of course that today, 85% of the micro-entrepreneurs in Skaparate are women, young and old women, and 15% are men. And a sprinkler are the gender diverse segments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's go to the next question from TSPI Lynn Onesa. Sir, do you screen interested nanays based on the quality of their products and production practices? Say if they do good manufacturing practices for those who sell food.
Yes. Most of the nanays in Skaparate are actually recommended by their organizations. So we make it clear to the organizations that we will only take in their best. In other words, an organization, for example, like Kasagana Ka, which has 43,000 members, they only have about 200 nanays in Skaparate. They know that we will not take in entrepreneurs who are, say, just doing business on a part-time basis, not very, their operations are not very stable and are very uncertain, or they have not shown discipline as members of their cooperative. Now, about 20 to 30% of the nanays in Skaparate today are independent nanays. In other words, they don't belong to any organization. They just applied with us directly. For the independent nanays, the vetting is much more complicated than those coming from organizations, because we want to make sure, first of all, that the business really exists. It is not a part-time endeavor. It's not like they're working during the day as a sales ladies or salesmen, and then in the afternoon doing part-time business, and they do it when they feel like doing it. No, we don't want businesses like those. We want people who are in it for a living, who do this business because that is what they depend on to feed their families. So apart from this vetting, we also have a process where everyone who comes in first starts with a catalog. In other words, you have your Skaparate within the website, where customers are given means to access you directly. In other words, they deal with you directly. before you qualify for the add to cart or e-commerce storefront, we want to see you perform in our selling events. So the selling events become a way by which we're able to test the reliability of these nanays and the customer feedback on the products that they put in these events. So when we've tested the reliability and when we have very good customer feedback on their products, they become qualified for the add to cart or e-commerce.
Okay. Just a follow-up question from TSPI Lean. Would appreciate to know how we can join more detailed orientation about Skaparate since that she's interested.
Okay. There is a way to join directly by going to our website. There is an item in the menu called Join Kana. Those who are tech savvy, they can do that, join right away. Or for groups that would like to know more about this Skaparate, we're very happy to do briefings. In fact, Past President Reggie himself recommended an organization to which he belongs. And we did a briefing for that organization, for the outstanding entrepreneurs in that organization. And we onboarded, I think, about 10 or 15 of them already in Skaparate. So we have organizations wanting to have their own exclusive briefings, and that's fine with us. But we also have organizations that don't mind participating in our public briefings, which we do every Thursday. So every Thursday at 10 a.m., we are prepared to brief anyone from the public who wants to learn more about Skaparate.
Okay, I guess the one of the questions in the chat box is already answered by that as well. So we'll just ask the question of Rotarian Freddy Placino. Hi Joey, you have gone a long way since our banking days. Do you still accept investors? What is your minimum bite size?
Yes, our seed capital round is not closed yet. We still are willing to speak to investors. I'm not sure if I can talk about a minimum investment size. As a board, we haven't set any, but we're willing to speak with anyone who is of like mind. In other words, the important thing is he believes in this project, he thinks the same way we do, and he is as patient as we are. I think those are the more important considerations.
Okay, thank you, Sir Joey. I'm sorry we have run out of time. To those who have also posted questions in the chat box, you can maybe go straight to Sir Joey. Unfortunately, it's around 3 a.m. already or 2 a.m. already in Toronto, Canada right now. So thank you again, Sir Joey, for sharing, and it's really a very inspiring sharing of your initiatives. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so now let's go to the last part of our program, which is the response from our LCPs, and then followed by the adjournment. So let's start with the LCP Ron Madrid Bawagan of RC Muntinlupa Business District, followed by LCP Kiko Africa of RC Parañaque East, and of course, LCP Louis Asioche of RC Makati. LCP Ron?
Hello, good afternoon. Okay. So thank you so much, Sir Joey, for this very insightful event. So I just want to commend that you have reinvent this online selling platform, especially for the small entrepreneurs, which caters in helping them reach their potential customers. Also providing sessions or learning sessions to equip them to become a better managers and businessmen. I hope you continue with this, and then we could also collaborate with you, that we could be instrumental, that we could sponsor from our community and put more nanays in your platform so that we could help also these low-income households to stabilize their income flows, and of course, so that we could have more productive and progressive nation. So thank you so much, Paul. And we will be in touch. Classmate Louis, thank you also.
Okay, LCP Kiko, you're up.
Yes, thank you very much. Thank you, Sir Joey. I think the first time I heard the word escaparate is when I was 7 or 8 years old. So mga 20 years ago. My lola would tell me, Kiko, kunin mo yung wallet ko or pitaka ko sa escaparate. So I'd go to this Nara cabinet with the see-through glass. You'll see everything. Cookies, coffee, sugar, cups, plates. So everything was there. Since then, I haven't really heard people using the word escaparate until today. And I'm happy to learn that the word is now associated with giving opportunities to other people to showcase their products. It's like an online tiangge. Nakakatuwa po that people now have this opportunity and allowing micro entrepreneurs to grow. On our part, RC Parañaque East will share this platform with our Rotary Community Core, particularly RCC of St. Paul and RCC of Don Bosco Parañaque. These are also women entrepreneurs who might have that opportunity through Escaparate. So we will promote this with you, Sir Joey. Maraming salamat po. Thank you.
Okay, finally, LCP Louis Aseoche.
Thank you again, Chris. So the first thing that drew my interest to Joey Bermudez social enterprise was the name Skaparate. What word could best capture the essence of online retailing than the Tagalog Spanish mongrel of a word Skaparate, or loosely translated, showcase or shop window? Unlike Amazon, whose name and logo adopted the name and image of a famous river, and when you think of it now, is totally disparate from what it stands right now, a tech giant that has least or no identification at all with the Amazon River, Bermudez Skaparate easily tags the platform literally at its core. Thus, like LCP Kiko here with his memories of his Nara cabinet or their mom's Nara cabinet, ako naman, whenever we fancy an item or a piece of clothing in a shop display window at the store and could not find it at the rack inside the store, we tell the store clerk, yung nasa Skaparate or yung suot ng manikin sa Skaparate. So having caught our attention with the catchy e-name, we begin to appreciate the story behind the social enterprise of Joey. It is about helping out one of the sectors which are most devastated by the lockdown and mobility restrictions brought about by the COVID-19, our micro entrepreneurs. These are the individuals or family small businesses whose production hubs are mostly right in their own homes. So when the crippling lockdown happened and people could not go out or are not allowed to go out, then we find our micro entrepreneurs struggling mightily, unable to deliver their products, unable to purchase the raw materials, as what Joey has said, and unable to collect their payments. If these micro enterprises form part of the MSMEs, which comprise 99% of our business establishments in the country and which employ 60% of the country's workforce, then we see how brittle the backbone of our economy has become during the lockdowns. Fortunately, we have people like Mr. Joey Bermudez who not only see opportunities during crisis, but take them as a chance to help the underprivileged. You know what is it about former bankers that they are the ones who are most enthusiastic and driven when it comes to helping out the poor and the underprivileged? We have Ayesha Vera Yu, a former investment banker who founded ARK Advancement for Rural Kids, which we partnered with in 2 of our significant projects this Rotary year in the Rotary Club of Makati. And then we have Joey, who firmly believes that our micro entrepreneurs are made of sterner stuff and who, as he described them in one article, seems to be gifted with entrepreneurial tenacity. They are the ones who do not easily give up, and given the right support, will flourish and will succeed. Joey in particular, after having seen that their boiler and cookie cutter templates wouldn't work, made specific adjustments, leading to a rebooted or morphed skaparate.com. If throughout his long career in the banking industry with its rigid conservative milieu, Joey could not seem to push his idea of lending more to micro entrepreneurs who have proven to be actually better borrowers than their corporate counterparts. With skaparate.com, Joey becomes the white knight of these micro entrepreneurs, or the nanais, who form an overwhelming majority of his social platform. In them, Joey seems to see a kind of discipline, commitment, and dedication not normally seen with your typical borrowers. That is the kind of confidence that is empirical, for he has seen it himself when he was still with the bank. We in the Rotary Club of Makati, in fact, did not look far, as we can also cite our own pleasant, rewarding, and fulfilling experience with our micro-lending or micro-funding project with TSPI, and there are at least 4 of them with us today. Micro-entrepreneurs, or at least most of them, are diligent when it comes to paying their loans, and that is a fact. So Joey certainly knows what he speaks of, and we admire him for having the heart for the underprivileged and for providing them with a platform to improve their lot and to be self-sufficient in life. So Joey, you have someone in your group who is highly esteemed and respected in our club, and again, may I say, a favorite in District 3830, past President Reginald. I will discuss with him the synergy that you had proposed in your presentation, including sponsorship for onboarding, providing mentorship, and even buying some items or wares from our nanais online. This platform of yours would not be a difficult sell to our members because they are very supportive of programs that help alleviate economic conditions of those in the margins and which projects are self-sustaining. Already, I could sense one of our members who go by the name of Freddy Placino taking an interest in investing in Skaparate. So on behalf of the Rotary Club of Makati, our aunts, our District Governor Georgie Tan, my co-host clubs today led by LCP's Ron Madrid Bawagan of RC Muntinlupa Business District, and my Brad Kiko Africa of RC Parañaque East, the other Rotarians from the different Rotary clubs in our district, and my classmates from the life-changing presidents. All the other guests in attendance, please accept, Joey, our heartfelt gratitude. I hope that your staying up late at this hour in Toronto has been worth it. And as a token of our appreciation, we will be sending you a copy of our 50th coffee table book. I don't know how we're going to send this, no? But we will try, containing the achievements of our club for the past 50 years. And again, I don't know how we're going to send this, together with a bottle of Altozano wine for you to enjoy while browsing our book. And aside from the wine and the book, we have this plaque of appreciation, which is a replica of the steel plate that will be put on the reef bud that shall be planted in the Sea of Narvacan, Ilocos Sur, as part of our Save Our Reefs project. This is a major environmental initiative of our club in line with Rotary's 7th area of focus, which aims to help revive and regenerate nearshore marine ecosystems. Now, before we do our respective adjournments for each of our clubs, may I request everyone to open their camera for our useful photo op with our speaker before we adjourn this meeting. Say, Skaparate.
Skaparate.
Next slide. Okay, thank you.
So who goes to adjourn first, Chris? Who goes to adjourn first? Me first. Sorry, in behalf of the Rotary Club of Makati, this meeting is adjourned. LCP Ron.
In behalf of Rotary Club of Muntinlupa Business District, this joint meeting is adjourned.
For the Rotary Club of Parañaque East, this meeting is adjourned.
Thank you, classmates.
Thank you.
Joey.
Congratulations.
Thank you, Ron.
Thank you,
Joey,
Ron.
Mr. Joey, thank you.
And
Thank you
see
very
you
much.
in East,